Before we proceed with the main discussion of the course, I would just like to shed light on some of the key terms used uh, when we talk about reading and writing, when we talk about listening and speaking. So, these two terms are receptive and productive skills. You might have come across these two terms, and these are important to understand, how reading and writing are called both receptive and productive skills. So I just want to clarify, um, you know, for in terms of receptive skills, we've got two skills which are listening and reading. The reason why these are called receptive is that is when we are listening something or when we are reading a text, we are receiving information, okay, and we are trying to understand or reconstruct the meaning of that particular text or um, listening thing, okay. So generally speaking, these are known as passive skills, but uh, when we will be towards the middle of the course, we'll come to know these are not passive skills, rather these are active skills, because we are interacting with the text. When we are listening something, we are interacting and trying to reconstruct the meaning, okay. Well, these two skills, uh, listening and reading, can be compared with productive skill. For example, when we are trying to understand a new item, we are trying to reconstruct its meaning or understand its meaning. So it's something very interactive process, right? And well, um, there is a key relationship between receptive and productive skills, and this is very complex one because we are not sure where uh, these four skills overlap, okay. And because one set of skills naturally helps develop the other set of skills. For example, if we get um, input through listening, it can help us read well, it can help us write well. So the relationship between these four skills is very intriguing one because these are always overlapping. So while teaching reading and writing skills, we just need to be mindful, like reading is not a passive, rather it's more active, and develop some strategies to make our readers or students more active, okay. On the other hand, what are the productive skills? These are obviously speaking and writing, because we are producing something when we speak. So these are, generally speaking, these are known as active skills. But as I have already said, these are very much interrelated because um, uh, one skill feed into the other one and the other feed into the next one. So there is a reciprocal relationship between reading, writing, listening, and speaking. We can't ignore speaking when we are talking about writing or reading, okay. So throughout the course, you'll come to realize that my emphasis will be to um, discuss that equal sort of time should be given to each skill. I mean, one skill shouldn't be ignored at the expense of the other skill. Generally speaking, you might have seen yourself, as you are, some of you could be practicing teachers or might become teachers, that in most of our schools in the Pakistani context, people usually give more emphasis to reading, and it's considered that speaking will naturally happen. But uh, to my knowledge, and as regards the research in this field in second language acquisition, 45% input is given through listening. So the main argument throughout the course will be to give equal time to each skill and not to ignore um, one skill at the expense of the other skill.